Dickmas. Dickmas.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it.
Dickmas.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz
Dickmas. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Dickmas.
That's pretty great,
Chris.
man. Pretty great. Wasn't wasted on us.
This is like
My idea was very similar, so I'm gonna do it because it's a different song, but that's great.
so I made that and I was like, that's pretty good. And then I thought about it and I'm like, we should probably end the show.
What am I doing with my time? That's usually what I say. They're like
AI generated, I had to work the AI generation to get those Santa pictures. And then I
Nice.
discovered the new thing of taking AI generated images and then having them animated somehow.
Animate
Also
Oh,
via AI.
God's sakes.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
He looks quite upset about that.
Oh,
That's his, like,
no.
his magic Santa dildo thing or something. I don't know what that is. But we're here for Merry Dickmas, a month-long journey into Mr. Dickmas, director, starting tonight with the 1983 horror movie, The Lift. Das Lift. I got worried when that movie started on Tubi and it was in German. And I was like,
Oh.
I haven't
watched it on
taken German
Tubi?
since ever because I never took German. So I
He's
watched it
from
on
the
Tubi.
Netherlands.
Oh,
He's not
Whatever.
German.
It's
I
all
need
the
to watch it
same.
on
It's all the
Amazon.
same
It's
once
not
you get over
the
there.
same.
They all speak the same languages, right? German, Austrians is basically the same as German, right? Netherlands, who knows what that is? What is that? I don't know what any of these. That's really not German.
He's from the Netherlands, dude.
But everybody in this movie was German, no? They were all
It's a
from
Norwegian
Netherlands.
movie. It's a Norwegian
This
film.
is a Norwegian movie.
Yeah, they're all driving little cars around. Didn't you see the
They're
buildings?
not Norwegian.
Aren't they? I thought this was
They're from the
Norwegian.
Netherlands.
It looked
for
like
fuck's
Germany to
sake.
me.
I thought it was Germany. Rebecca's with me, and she's a teacher, and I think she's smarter than you. So I'm with Rebecca.
I'm
Well,
not
wait.
going to deny that she's smarter than me, but I don't know about you saying this is Germany. I don't know, man.
Look it up. Sean in the comments will
We're
let us
looking it
know
up.
where this
I'll look
goddamn
and see where this was actually
fucking
filmed.
It's
elevator
Dutch.
movie
It's
came
Dutch, you fuckers.
That's Netherlands.
from. That is
Oh man.
somehow
Yeah,
Aaron
country
was
of
right.
origin, the Netherlands.
All right, just because you were like,
Filming location, Amsterdam, in Holland, the Netherlands.
actually, that makes you know what that makes
By
sense
an
now.
all-German cast.
Now that you say that makes sense because one of Dick Moss's other movies, which I think we are covering, is Amsterdam. So
Amsterdam.
It's gonna be too good. But
well, we'll
Yep.
get into it. We'll get into
get
it because
to it,
tonight we're
yeah.
talking about the
He
1980s.
has quite a few we should
he has
watch.
some great movies. Yeah.
What was our introduction to him? Was it the Uncaged movie, right? Or was there a different one we watched of his?
Oh, was Uncaged him?
Yeah. That was his last
That makes
film.
sense. Oh, we
That
just
was
lost
that he
Chris. Is Chris
directed.
back?
Did I freeze?
Yeah.
Am
You're
I better
freezing
now?
out. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh, I thought you were gonna fall out completely. You're back. No, wait,
Don't
you're
fall
freezing the
out.
camera. Stop doing that. You're gonna break it.
Sorry. Dude, this picture of Dick Moss is the coolest fucking picture I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
You
sure.
see him?
Oh, I know.
His badass photo he
Yep,
has.
I'm going to show it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
here's
I want to
shot,
see this
here's
thing.
a shot. So we have started this Dick Moss, this Merry Dickmas month with The Lift. Next week we journey into Amsterdam. Then we follow it up with The Shaft. And then of course we end this Christmas month with The Saint from 2010.
The same.
A full journey through the Dickmas.
What about Flutter? Isn't that supposed to be really?
We're
good?
not doing Flaughter. It is a TV show.
Okay.
Yeah. We could do a different podcast. The
I
Flounder
would
cast,
maybe
but I
consider
don't
Do
know.
Not Disturb, but that's
Well,
got William Hurt in it. So
we
it's
can
probably
always
too
have
good.
another Dickmas next year.
There's always
I don't
time for
think
more
there's enough.
Dickmas.
There's always room for more Dick.
There's always room for more Dick on this show. So
Jokes just write themselves.
Lindsay is
Pretty
out
much.
this week, dealing with some stuff.
Yeah.
Liv
Flounder?
may or may not be eating people or something. You guys said he's eating his guests.
Oh,
or
he's having
something?
He's having
an
company
event.
for dinner.
He
Company.
said
Chris.
company for dinner, which to me,
I don't
We're in the
think-
parlor playing piano.
not company
right now.
over for dinner. It's company for dinner. Like we're eating the
Yeah.
people that are visiting.
I don't think I've ever said the words "we're having company for dinner." That sounds like some old person shit.
I
Yeah.
know,
Parents.
Yeah,
man.
I think
On a
you have to be
Wednesday
at
night?
least 75.
I called
to
the
say
mayor
those
and he's
words.
coming by for a minute spell.
Coming by for a spell. How was
You think
everybody's
they're eating
Thanksgiving?
like Jello
by the
with
way?
lettuce in it and shit?
Did everyone
I
have a
was
great
sick my whole
Thanksgiving?
time.
You were sick.
I had a
still
horrible
sick.
Thanksgiving. I had to
I was
hang out
sick.
with you.
AJ, you strike me as the kind of person who would do one of these like, I cooked my turkey in a vacuum sealed upside down carton with oil or some shit. Like go through
yeah?
all that work to make it somehow taste better,
No,
even though
I-
it tastes exactly the same and it's dog shit.
My mom made Thanksgiving this year. My mom's great chef.
Your mom is great.
My brother was working, so I didn't get to see him.
That's a shame.
That sucks.
He just works constantly. But food was very good.
Did you have turkey?
We had turkey. Yeah.
Turkey sucks, right?
We have turkey and ham. It's like an homage to everything. There's everything.
Okay.
It's
You
insane.
have to brine
It's like
the
10
turkey for
things.
it to be juicy.
People say that, but no matter what, where they're like, I spent 8 hours brining and doing all, it tastes exactly
It
the same
helps.
every fucking
Yeah,
time.
You gotta put it. You just gotta put gravy on it.
That's
That's
the best.
Rebecca's.
isn't it?
Rebecca's what? If you
You gotta
smother
stuff it,
shit
too?
in
Just
gravy, it just tastes
put
like gravy,
gravy on
which
it.
is good.
You
Yeah.
just gravy in a cup. Take a swig.
If
put
you
a
do
turkey in there,
stuffing
another
inside
swig.
too, and like lots of like onions and vegetables that hold water and moisture well, that's a
They do
great way to
what?
cook it out.
What is
It
this?
doesn't do anything. It literally
It
doesn't
does.
change anything. It's
does
all in your head. It's a
everything.
placebo.
It's
It's,
all
a Turkcebo effect, is what that is.
It's flavor.
No,
He's a tryptophan, Chris. All right.
Onions are the base of most cooking.
I made a chicken, and Aaron brought a honey baked ham, and the chicken was juicy and moist and delicious,
Chicken was
and the
great.
ham was
Oh,
delicious
wow.
as well.
Yep.
So we
It's
had a
just the two
great
of you,
time.
huh?
It's just me and Aaron.
Just
Wow.
the two of us.
No, we had Aaron.
Just the
and
two of you and
his
two
lovely
meats.
wife, and my parents were over. And the one point I looked over at my dad.
Yeah.
I was playing a board game with the kids, and I looked over at my dad because he's sitting on the couch, and he said something, and his like eyes were like so
He does
glazed
the-
over and dead
yeah.
inside, and I was like, "Are you alive right
super
now?
high.
Or are you Weekend at Bernie's
high.
over here?"
Make sure he's okay.
No, he's just high.
Yeah, and then he made us watch the end of that Princess Switch movie. Or
He
whatever.
made us, the kids all left. He made us watch the end of Princess Switch on Netflix with
It's like I gotta know how it ends.
I gotta see how this ends. I'm like, I can tell you. it's
Do
not
they
good.
switch back?
He's a completionist. He has to
He
see
is.
the full
He is.
film.
It was funny. I didn't mind actually.
That's
It was kind of
funny.
fun, but yeah.
I've
it
seen
was,
that movie so many times.
No, I didn't care about the movie. It was just because he wanted that. I was like, okay, fine, that's cool.
That is
It was
cool.
hilarious. You guys
did
watch
our-
Princess Switch?
That's what he looked
Fucking
like.
stoned.
Last week
Jesus.
we did do a live episode, which probably
Yeah.
won't be released ever, just because it was
No.
nonsense.
It was kind of
Um,
nonsense. That's why it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, so I apologize for that. We were gonna do what was that movie called? Home Sweet Home, 1981
Oh my
Home
God.
Sweet Home.
We did
That
everyone
was-
a favor.
That was
On that one.
That
absolutely
was
awful.
painful. I'm pretty sure that's what made me sick and not the COVID
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, that was next level bad. Everybody.
Yeah, so
I can't even begin to explain how bad it was.
we decided to just do like a live Thanksgiving hangout. For
That was
2
fun.
hours.
I
And it
went
was
for quite
fun,
a
but
while,
it was
too.
nonsense. So I didn't think it was worth putting onto a podcast.
No,
That's fair.
no.
That's fair. People listening
Hey,
probably, and we had
Hey,
so many
pa-
visuals.
Patreons
on,
if they
like-
wanted, but it was a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
Although we got Sean on, our
We did
Patreon
get Sean
Sean.
on, which was fun. I
Yeah,
do feel
cool. That was
bad when we
cool.
bring some people on and then we don't publish it or whatever, but sorry.
We got to see his cool collection of movies, which I'm
Yeah,
jealous
dude has
of.
an awesome collection.
It's awesome.
We did. But tonight, we're diving into the lift. And can I take a room temperature? Is that the saying? Can I get the room temperature on
The
what?
temperature of the room.
Can I get the temperature of the
69
room
degrees.
on elevators in general? AJ, what did you think about elevators? Do you use an elevator if you were at a building, or would you
I've
use
been,
the stairs?
I have gotten stuck on an elevator in a building, and firefighters had to come get me.
That sounds
Yeah.
like hell.
Yeah, but it was also just like a really common thing. In that
Did you
building,
start
so
making out with the people that were in there?
I wasn't. No, I think that was an 80s thing. I don't know. I was not
we'll get into
fortunate enough
that.
to have that opportunity.
I think I would have a panic attack it being stuck in that small space.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't like elevators very much. And I don't like really old elevators that no one should be on, but you're on them and you're like, this is not safe.
What about those ones in Europe they have where it doesn't stop? It just keeps moving and you have to like jump on at the right time.
What?
Mm.
You ever seen
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Thank
So they
you.
just keep going.
It sounds like a
So you
video
just
game
get
elevator.
smushed?
Right.
Cargo elevators are pretty cool. Like the
It's like a
really
Dark
big old
Souls
ones in New
elevator.
York. Where they
I have
throw the
done
gate
some
down.
I have done some cargo elevators
Yeah,
in
those
Philly,
are cool.
and they are cool. And when you have those cool doors and shit, you're like, all right, this is like a movie. But I still don't
Yeah,
like it.
in Prague and some other places, it's got paternoster. It's a lift. It just keeps.
Yeah, it just keeps
going.
moving, right? Yeah.
It makes me
And you
think
have
of
to hop around
the
and hop off.
Hershey's chocolate world where you just have to
Jump
go
on
with
'em.
it.
Hope
Yeah.
you survive.
Yeah.
It's like the
you
escalator,
probably
getting
have
off
to
the
get-
escalator for the first time ever. Oh, God, you gotta make it.
All right, so we're not a big fan of elevators.
I don't think
it sounds
anyone's a really big fan of elevators. I think they're just like a necessity, so you don't have to walk up 100 flights by your.
I mean, yeah, if it's a bunch of flights, it's nice. Or if you have luggage or something like that, it's really helpful. But
I
for
don't
just,
like glass
yeah.
ones.
flights.
I
it's not
always
worth it.
bypass the elevator if I can, especially if it's
Me
like
too.
2 flights or something. Like fuck that, it's gonna take forever.
There you
Yeah.
go, Chris. There's the paternoster.
And then
think
you have
that would
those
work.
awkward situations where someone like Chris gets on farts or something. It smells like shit and you can't get off. You know what I mean?
I have
Like, who
never
wants to be
farted
in
on an
that?
elevator.
Okay, so there you go. Would you rather the people be having
leaves
tried to
that.
have sex in that elevator, like the movie, or do you prefer people fart?
Oh,
Which
sex
is less
for sure. I
awkward.
want to see that freak show happen. I want to see that go down. I mean,
Yeah,
if we get
on the
stuck
elevator?
and then they start
You could
banging
film
and
it.
start smelling and stuff, I don't know about that, but I want to kind of see a little bit. No?
I think it
and
depends
on
on-
that news,
It's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
think
mean,
it's an
that'd be
experience
so
thing.
bizarre. Wouldn't that be weird that you're in there and you're like, what the hell is happening?
There are some
And then you
really
have a
nice
story.
elevators though. Like some really like, have you ever been in one of those hotel ones where like all glass and stuff, and it's kind of like
Yeah, I don't
enjoyable
like
because
that
you can
either.
see out.
Rebecca said she
No,
doesn't
I-
like that.
Like
I don't want a
that's kinda
glass
nice.
one. No.
What about the one with the personal like driver guy who pushes the button?
Oh yeah, because that's like a union
Oh
job.
yeah. That's a
Yeah, I've been
lost
on
art.
those.
There was one in Philly. It was like a
Yeah.
It was a like not public elevator because we used it
Yeah,
to carry
they're
video
required by
equipment.
law. They have
And there was
to.
just a dude sitting in there like
Yeah.
on his phone. I'm like, this
That's
is what
his
you do
job.
all fucking day? Just sit here?
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to do that.
The quiz is all about elevators, but the one question I
yeah.
didn't include,
Nice.
like when elevators were first starting to become popular, lift operators had to train for 3 years before they could
Oh,
start.
wow.
Push the fucking
Doing
button?
Yeah.
Or
And-
is
and
it
to think we just
crank-
let
Well, but it
anyone
was
drive around in a
before the
car, right?
buttons. Like you were operating it.
you had to manually stop it at the right spot and everything.
Yeah.
It didn't auto stop at the floors.
Okay.
It still seems like 3 years is a bit excessive for that. Like I'm pretty sure I could get that down in like 20 minutes.
It's a different time.
You can become a police officer with less than 3 years of training, I think. You could
Well,
probably
should
like,
you?
be
Any
like
of that.
you could probably be like in surgery or something, assisting a surgeon with less than 3 years. Like there's so many things you could do, but they're like
Yeah.
Step
"Oh,
aside.
you can become
I'm
a
an
plumber.
elevator operator. Oh,
Yeah.
You
oh,
can become a
okay.
plumber and make damn good money.
Yeah. Anyways, this is related. We're going to be talking a lot about elevators tonight. So, AJ, will you tell me what the 1983 horror movie The Lift is about?
A lift technician finds himself drawn into a web of mystery
What's this all
It goes
about?
up, then it goes back down.
when an elevator lift starts killing people. Will he
My
be
head.
able to solve the mystery?
Why is it so gooey?
Or will
Organic.
he find himself stuck taking the stairs?
Won't I tell my wife I'm not having an affair?
Nope.
Find out. 1983 classic. That is The Lift.
Rated R because we thought it was German, but it's actually from the Netherlands.
Which part of, yeah.
Thank you, AJ. That was pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sick.
what I like
I'm
to do.
just trying to
No,
survive right now.
I like that. Will he be taking the stairs? That's a great ending. Yeah.
I think it could have been better, but I was trying to
Well,
get somewhere.
I mean, it could have been, but you know,
It worked.
It worked good.
It works.
I liked it.
It works. Like,
Much like an elevator, you don't enjoy it, but it works.
yeah, it's a function.
It got us to where we need to go.
It got us
Yeah.
to where we need to go. And that place is, of course, Aaron's history hole, where I don't know what happens anymore. I don't even know why we call it a history hole. Let's just
I
figure
have
it
no.
out.
Where did that even come from? I don't understand.
Well, it used to be
why.
like
Well,
this
it used to
year.
be like the history of that year, and
Yeah,
You know when you used
Yeah,
to
but
do effort? It was
Why is it a history hole?
it's hard to remember because it was so long
everything
ago.
was a hole.
yeah,
Everything,
I don't know. Everything was a
hole.
whole.
That's true. At least we got out of
This
that.
is how like the Bible and religion starts, where it's like people don't remember. We're like, this is just how it is.
Right.
So we don't question it anymore. You're like Jesus, all right?
You don't question it.
You don't question it. It's just the way it is, Aaron. And
Yeah.
so let's do it. Let's get up in Aaron's history hole and get some information. So here we go.
Oh man,
Mary Dickmas.
that's pretty sweet.
Look at Dickmas there to the left.
Man,
What a
he looks
badass.
He is such a
badass. Man.
badass.
He's like straight out of the Matrix.
He's like Neo too.
Yeah, Neo too. Should make a Matrix ripoff.
Oh, I got the wrong sweatshirt. Here we go. That's a little better. Let's fix
Oh
that
man,
up.
there it is.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's very snug. Snug fit.
it's a snug fit.
Whoa.
Oh God.
Whoa.
Santa approves.
Yes, so this gentleman here on the left is Dick Maas. Dick Herman Willem Maas, who was born April 15th, 1951 in Netherlands. Not to be confused with Germany. Or wherever else you said, Chris.
Norway,
Where else
I
did you
think.
say
It
Chris?
looked like the
Norway.
names looked German to me. I don't know. I'm sorry.
They
I'm
did.
just
I
ignorant.
I
mean,
concur.
He looks like a badass German techno guy. Like,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. He
I
has that
didn't.
sound.
I didn't watch this movie. The movie version I watched was dubbed in English, so
Yeah.
yeah,
I
me
couldn't
too.
tell
American.
in American.
It's dubbed in
Dubbed in
American,
American.
okay?
Dubbed in American.
Y'all got that American version?
I need American.
Boom. All right, so tonight we're talking about The
Oh
Lift.
man, yes.
There are several different covers for this film. This is like the original one for the Netherlands
cool.
released. There is this one, which I think is badass.
Oh shit!
Sweet, man.
Take the stairs, take the stairs.
It's
For
like a
God's
Nintendo
sake,
game,
take the
like-
Yeah, it
stairs.
play
looks
that
like
Nintendo
an
Yeah.
I know.
Atari game or something.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then we also have this version, the English
good, too.
one, which is really cool. It's kind of creepy. I like it.
That little girl scene, like the only
Oh.
reason they put that in is so they could make this cover artwork.
I
'Cause
think
is
so, but it looks
creepy
really
and
good.
weird. Oh.
It was
So that
worth
woman
it.
could slap her.
Oh my god, we'll get to that.
It's questionable behavior.
Lots of questionable
Yeah.
behavior in this movie.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot about Dick Maas. He in other films we've seen, he's the writer director often, and he likes doing music too. In fact, he was temporarily fired from this film, like halfway through production, but they hired him back the next day because they knew they couldn't make the film without him.
Didn't he write, direct, edit, and do the music on this?
Yeah,
thing?
he did like everything for this movie.
Who
Yeah.
fired
Film.
him then?
He fired
Fired
himself.
himself? I'm out of here.
The producer fired him.
The
Yeah.
money person.
Yep, he did compose the entire score to this film on two borrowed synthesizers, a Jupiter 8 and a
Nice.
Juno 60,
That's awesome.
and the recording only took one day.
That's
Not
shocking.
Surprised at all.
I didn't think
Yeah.
the music was bad though.
Yeah.
No, it fits, but it wasn't complex.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is
Pretty
that's-
impressive.
It's moody stuff, and it works well.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about the '80s too, and like recording music. That's hard to do.
Yeah, you're right. So other than some other very small, like intricate parts of the elevator, like interior and just a small part of the exterior, it was all shot on location. So they actually shot like a real elevator in the works, which is pretty cool.
That was an elevator, like
That's
elevator,
awesome.
not even a set, like when they were in there.
Right. It's not like
Right.
Speed where they make that super
Mhm.
intricate shot with the fake elevator,
Well,
like the toy elevator thing.
But the opening that I showed, I think that was a miniature. Maybe I'm
it might have been, but it says the majority of it
The
was shot on
building?
location. So he did need help from the elevator manufacturer to make the film.
Okay.
They actually liked the idea of it, so they gave their full
That's
cooperation.
cool. Nice.
Wow.
I know. The actors performed their own stunts. There was no stuntmen on the film at all.
Wow.
Yep. To keep the actors safe in the scene where one guy loses his head, it was actually filmed backwards. and they put
Oh,
a steel bar
interesting.
so the elevator couldn't hurt him, basically, if it would happen. If it
I
break
still don't
loose or
like
something.
that. That still would stress me
Yeah,
the
it
fuck
seems
out.
really,
Yeah.
Would
really
not wanna film
dangerous,
that.
right?
Yes.
That's so dangerous.
So fucking
Jesus
dangerous.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
They
they
the
actually
scene where the guy loses his head, he actually lost his head.
That's because it was an actual
Sorry.
elevator. Wow.
they submitted a roughly subtitled version of this to the Cannes Film Festival, and Warner Brothers purchased the distribution rights, so that's why it was actually
Nice.
redubbed and released in a lot of different locations. Chris, you got to familiar to this. Like, crew members were filling in as extras. This was a really low budget film that was shot in less than 30 days.
That's pretty impressive.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It certainly doesn't show.
No, we'll get to it.
Trying to say there's tons. I'm not going to say it all, but there's a lot of trivia about this film. It's pretty interesting. So some other things. It was released. Let's see. Well, it was filmed in the Netherlands, and it was released on May 11th, 1983. So some other May 1983 films, which there are actually not very many. Movies weren't released quite as quickly back then. We had, looking at these, The Final Terror. It's an American slasher film. We had Dr. Detroit, Deadly Eyes, Bill Cosby himself,
Not so good.
and
Turns
Space
out
Hunter
himself is not
Adventures
so
in the
good.
Forbidden Zone. We did watch that one
yeah, we
before,
did.
I think.
Yeah.
And also Return of the Jedi. Pretty big film there.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course not.
No idea.
You wouldn't watch such things.
Watch
Okay,
such
so other than
garbage.
that, yeah, we've already talked about some of his other movies. I think we're going to cover quite a few of them this month. There's still a few more we should check out maybe next year. I think that pretty much covers the basics.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive.
Oh, we need to let him know about Mary Dickmas.
You call him up.
Yeah.
He's
See
on
if he'll get on the
Instagram.
show.
That'd be amazing.
Maybe he'll give us a shout out.
That'd be cool.
Give us a little.
You could write us
bumper.
some new music for the show.
That would be
Yeah,
badass.
That would be
Synthesizers.
awesome.
It'd be badass.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you, Aaron, for that history whole segment thing.
You're welcome.
If you want to change the name, now's the opportunity for next year to redo all the bumpers and do something new. We don't even have to do the history whole segment anymore. We could do
Why
something.
don't we just
different
kill
for
it?
nothing.
That way I don't have to do it.
We have to do
We could
something.
kill it. We could kill it. We don't have to do anything.
Why do we have to do? Everybody else is killing off their things.
That's true. We could just not do it anymore.
You just want to stop the show?
No, stop the history hole.
I don't know. I really like it. I mean, if you really want to, I'm not gonna say no.
We've
I'm good
had
with
people
killing it.
complain about it before, so
Yeah,
Well,
People complain about everything.
I mean,
it's
yeah.
offensive.
People are complaining right now. We're
It's
live.
offensive.
I know they're complaining. This is what they do. Look,
Look
Sean
at the
says.
sweater. The sweater
Sean
is so
says,
offensive.
"I hate the history hole."
I hated it even more
That
when it was
sweater.
the hidey hole.
It's
sweater's
just
so
get rid of
offensive.
that and Aaron.
AJ, you
Oh,
really
we're
use
all
the
on
balls-
there.
The balls of
I
the
like
show.
Lindsay's ridiculous photos on there. Eric, you're the balls, or is that AJ?
No, that's AJ.
Oh, we're all on there. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for that. that
See, this is
pivotal
why we have to kill this
placement.
off.
All right, this is why we're killing off the history hole. All right,
gotta
time
kill
to
it
move
off.
on and talk about the lift. So here we go. Hey everyone, this is Chris. I'm just reminding you in the still of tonight to go to patreon.com/badmovienightshow and sign up. For $2 a month, you get access to the exclusive bonus podcast pre-show, as well as other bonuses. That's patreon.com/badmovienightshow. All right, AJ, what did you think of The Lift?
The Lift was great. It was a great film. I had a great time watching it. Surprised to the level of competence that it had. Like, it was lit really well. It was shot well. The story was pretty interesting. Like, the scenes when we had gore were fantastic. It was a great horror movie. I was really pleasantly surprised and completely on board for it. I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is like early stuff for him, and we've seen Uncaged, which was amazing. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped for December because we're gonna have a fun time watching some really great horror movies.
Big fan. Okay.
Big fan.
Aaron, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, I really enjoyed this. It is a bit slow paced. It's an early '80s movie. In a lot of ways, it kind of reminded me of Dial Help, but less Italian. It just or maybe not quite as fun either. But I think my biggest issue is that I watched the ADR version, the overdubbed version, and it's a dialogue heavy movie, and just it's not that the ADR was bad, but to me it's distracting. I'd much rather just read the subtitles, I think, and hear it in the native language. Otherwise, I enjoyed it. The ending was a lot of fun. The overall idea is stupid but fun. And
So you'd rather read the movie but listen to the books. You make no sense, my friend.
yeah,
You
I
make
would.
no friend.
dude, it's the way my brain works.
I'm just teasing you. I don't give a shit.
Okay,
So-
asshole.
All right. Rebecca, what did you think?
Yeah, I liked it too. It definitely had its moments where it slowed down a little bit, but for the most part, it kept my attention. The story was interesting, a little frustrating at times, but yeah, I thought it was done really well.
I think the production quality is pretty good. Like, yeah, AJ said like it's competent. I think this movie's very competently made. I think it starts out pretty good with a bunch of kill sequences and some really the beheading one, which we'll dive into.
That was awesome.
Very well done. Very effective. The sequence at the opening with the couples that start having sex in the elevator, little weird, but
Yeah.
also did give me anxiety of being stuck in an elevator and like being sweaty and not being able to get out. Like I would just
Chris isn't worried about being
sweating
trapped. He's just worried about being
I don't wanna be
sweaty.
He's
in LA.
sweaty.
sweating it up.
You know, like that.
Well, it was weird how
Aerosmith
quickly
song.
they got hot. Like
yeah, well, the AC wasn't
in
turning,
multiple
right?
ways.
Was that the
They did-
heat?
they
when
did
the
talk
red
about
button
the-
came on.
I don't know what that. It doesn't make any sense. And
It's
I
the
think
elevator heater.
so. I was on board at first, but after about 20 minutes, this movie gets really boring because it's just this guy doing his job. Like he's
Yeah.
rolling cigarettes and examining the elevator, and then somehow ends up like mixed up with this reporter, and then his wife accuses him of having an affair, and he never says he's
He
not.
never
And so
says
his
it straight.
family
I think
abandons
he's happy
him.
I
with
think
her
he's been-
thinking
I
that.
think
Yeah, I
It's like,
think
finally, I'm free.
he's like,
What's
all
with-
right, I didn't even have to do it. Great.
What's with every conversation with every guy he has in the movie is about women or leaving women for other
That's-
women.
So we'll go through the plot here, but my problem is
It was filmed in
it
Amsterdam.
feels like it's padded
Free
out
spirits.
with non sequiturs that serve nothing to the main storyline of what's happening with this crazy elevator. And the ultimate reveal of what's happening with this crazy elevator is really freaking stupid.
I don't know.
And
kinda
it's
cool.
silly, which I like the silliness. But most of the movie is deadly serious, it feels like. So
Yeah. Well, you also got to remember this is like early 80s. So like technology is really new and the ideas of what a microchip
Scary.
is so foreign to people. Yeah, it is scary. So like out of context it's silly now, but back then it might have been like, oh yeah.
This is gonna happen.
Oh yeah. The microchips are going to take over. I mean, there's people today that political parties that think that.
I wonder what those are. But just like this shot, there's like great shots
That's
in this
awesome.
fucking movie. That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. I
Yeah.
like the color palette
Um,
too for things like that. I thought that was really cool.
So
The
I can
off-
see
the office
like
space and the lighting was good.
I can understand the constraints. When you said like Dick Maas like edited all this shit, he did all this shit in this movie. It's clear, but like he still made this thing with all these constraints. It does feel though like because of those constraints, there's just not enough story here for me. I guess is my problem.
It is a little thin. There's a lot of time just being just dialogue that really doesn't add a whole lot to it. To me, in a way, that feels more like a '70s film. That's a pretty common thing in the '70s. A lot of movies, I mean, it can be good, but they do drag. There's not a whole lot advancing the plot for extended periods of time, and that was just things were slower paced.
I
Well,
mean,
Whether or not
it's
that's a good
weird.
thing is, yeah.
Because you want to like this guy, and you kind of do. He's very likable, except for the whole scenario where he's just letting his marriage fall apart. Like,
Right.
and like,
Yeah,
we're
for
supposed to
something
continue
that
the-
would have taken like 2 minutes to explain what was going on, and
he
he's
ends up
just
with
like,
the reporter at the
"Meh."
end. Like, are we supposed to still
Well-
like him? Like, you know?
There was that time when he the first met the reporter and they're in the car. He's like, "Is this where you live?"
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, he was like trying to go like
Yeah.
get a cup of coffee, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he tried to work that in. She's like, no, this is where I work. He's like, well, I could still come in there. And I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're married.
It is.
So I don't
weird.
think he was in a happy situation, but the fact that
I
he just
think-
lets it completely
Yeah.
degenerate.
Well, and I
is
think
Yeah.
that could have helped the storyline if you show he's in a really bad situation. Like, at least then you
Yeah.
would feel something or relate to him in some way, you know?
yeah, he's just dead inside or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what any of that has to do with the elevator, though. Like,
It's
what does his marriage
an
have to do with this
allegory?
fucking
Nothing.
elevator?
for
Yeah, like
Is that
had
what
he
that
like the
Aerosmith
end,
song is
like
about?
he's hanging on, he's gonna die. and
It's
his
the
wife shows up
ups
and is
and
like,
downs.
yeah, the ups and
This
downs.
is
Love
smart
it
out.
in an
That would have been
elevator.
cool.
So the movie
man.
opens though with this outrageous group of old people having a
It's a
drunken
political party,
evening.
right?
Yeah, these are like
These are
senators.
Big wigs,
Yeah.
senators.
they're U.S. congressmen.
These
They're
are
80s.
congressmen, and
They
they
die in the elevator 'cause it's too hot.
go down the elevator. They enter the elevator on a stormy night. The storm is important because I feel like that's the catalyst for setting off this elevator. The
It's like
building gets-
Frankenstein. It needs the electricity to
Yeah.
bring it to
Isn't
life.
that, how Chopping Mall starts too? Like a
Yeah,
lightning
see, in the
storm?
80s,
Yeah.
we were also very afraid of electricity, like of storms.
Yeah,
Electricity
lightning
and
had a
quicksand.
lot of power.
Quicksand, electricity. They're two top ones.
If a lightning bolt hit any computer, that computer automatically is going to turn into a killing machine.
Yes.
And so these rich couples go into the elevator,
So
which
stupid.
then stops. And the one couple's like, well, I'm just going to have sex here. And they get naked and just start pounding it out in front of
Yeah.
the other couple, which was really a bold move.
Well, when in
While the
Amsterdam,
other
I
people are
guess.
like having heart attacks.
So, but this is weird because like I'm thinking like, okay, AJ, you're having dinner. You, Mark,
Yeah.
and your partners are all having dinner. You guys go get in the elevator and Mark starts pounding it out with his girl. Wouldn't you be like, this is not the relationship we have, Mark?
I'd be
like, I
wondering
wouldn't-
what he's been drinking and what drugs he's been doing.
I guess. But they end up passing out, not dying, just passing out. And that's when they call in Mr. Elevator Repairman, who
Yeah.
He's so
notably
dedicated.
in just about every other scene is seen rolling his own cigarettes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to make do all this on an elevator man salary.
Yeah.
Might
I
not have
think
been
an
very high
elevator
back then.
repairman is probably a decently paid job. especially
Now they probably
nowadays.
get paid
Yeah.
really well. Yeah,
There's just very
There's
few.
nothing wrong with rolling your own cigarettes. I think it's like a character thing for him.
maybe.
Makes him look cool, you know?
It does
Right.
look cool. He does always seem like a little annoyed. He's very stoic, I guess I would describe him as.
Yeah.
Well, he's German apparently.
But he's a German fella, and that's how they are in the Netherlands.
It's because he's driving
Sean
that little
says
car around. man.
Europeans are more open about sex and they whip it out everywhere and anywhere.
Okay.
That's why there's so many new beaches.
Just whipping it out. You go to the corner store
Oh
to
my
get some
goodness.
fucking bread, and some dude's
Well,
just whipping
I think
it
it would
out.
have made more sense if we saw them like doing lines of coke or something like some kind of
Yes.
drug infused thing. That would make more sense to me. But
Well, they were drinking.
They were drinking.
They were old.
very old.
they're very.
I mean,
old.
if you're a senator who's drunk and you got the, I mean, you just don't
Yeah.
care anymore. You can get away with
Yeah.
anything. I
So
guess why not?
you had those scenes, but then you had this blind guy introduced. And this is the like, darkest,
What?
funniest shit
Yeah,
in the movie. Where
That
there's
was
a
so-
blind guy who's like coerced into signing a lease, which I thought was
Yeah.
hilarious. That
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, you got to sign the contract." I'm like, well, "He can't fucking read the contract."
Right. Here, just sign this. Here, go ahead. Oh,
I
sign
thought
this
they
one
were
too.
gonna like have him sign away stuff or like give
That's
away
dark.
rights and like
He-
yeah.
Yeah.
At one point when he's signing it, the guy giving him the contract like made a face. And the guy signs it and like signs off the paper, and it was like, all right, this is kind of funny, but also
It's like,
why?
good job. Right off
Yeah.
onto
It was
the
a strange
desk, yeah.
scene for sure.
And the first thing the blind guy does is go and step out of the elevator and shaft and die.
Just
It is
down.
really funny.
But no one
And
notices.
No one notices. Yeah. That no one. No, through this movie, people constantly die in the elevator, and no one notices for
Well,
a very
yeah.
long time.
Yeah, it takes
The
way
desk
too
guy-
long.
The desk guy heard something, and he's like, "Did you say something to that other lady who was down there?"
Of
Yeah, the guy
course
fell
not.
Like 30 stories.
hear
You would
anything.
hear that. My God.
You could hear him falling down, which is hilarious too.
And
He's
screaming.
like,
Is he
"Oh,
screaming?
oh my god! Oh,
I'm
splat."
falling down the elevator shaft.
I mean, I will say
can't
there were
see.
some creative deaths in this movie. That's for sure.
Do you think anyone
Yes.
ever checks at the bottom of the elevator shaft though? Like,
Yes,
you think so?
There's
Yeah,
got to be
I don't
so
think
much
there's
just junk
you have to
down
inspect them
there.
periodically. They get pretty dirty and gross. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, clean
Sometimes
those
they get
elevator
water in the
shafts,
bottom
guys.
too.
So you had those kills right off the bat, but then you get the best kill in the entire movie, where the guy gets
Oh,
stuck
so slow.
and beheaded, and it is a nightmare. Like that looks terrible.
Yeah.
Well, the guy
It's so
reacting
scary.
too.
Yeah.
It's so
I was
because
like,
he just
oh
starts
my
throwing
God.
up. That was intense.
Wouldn't you just go above and try and pull the doors apart quickly?
Oh, that looked really good. So,
Get some leverage and start pulling the door apart? Like, why would
and the
you?
new
And
guy's
what-
just
that-
like puking.
When those doors shut on that guy's head, his partner friend did not try at all
No.
to get him.
No.
No,
free.
he
ran-
was
he-
done.
He was
backed up.
terrified.
He was out.
Yeah. It's like fuck this job.
It reminded me of Resident Evil. Do you remember that movie? Anyone ever seen
Yeah.
that movie called
Yeah.
Resident Evil?
What
Which
about
one?
Great movie, AJ. Where that lady gets her head decapitated. In an
Is that from the
elevator.
laser? It's been a long time. So
No, the
The
laser
laser
seems
is-
cool.
Laser scene's cool too, which was a practical effect, by the way.
No,
Those little chunks, yeah,
the human
You can-
slices.
yeah. They built like this thing. You can see it falling apart.
That's
Look it
pretty
up.
cool. I mean, they do slice up brains like that with like
Yeah.
basically like a meat slicer. So I guess you could make the same thing. That's really cool.
But this is where 15, 20 minutes in the movie, after you get that amazing beheading scene, the movie just takes a nosedive. Like nothing happens. You get
It
the
slows
reporter
down.
lady. You get bowling. You
Well,
get them going to the
you get the
mental asylum. The guy looking
conspiracy.
at that shit on the wall.
You're getting the conspiracy of the technology is
That's so
probably at
creepy.
play. They're
Right,
building
like he
that up.
takes over for that guy that's in the asylum because
Mhm.
the elevator drove him insane. What he found out.
supposedly. But
See,
we
that
never-
makes it feel like
we
it's
never
going to
get
be
any-
supernatural, though. That's
So
where it gets
I-
kind of
Right.
weird.
Did you guys think this was like a supernatural bent at first?
Up until that point, yes. And past that point, up until we find out there's
That's a good
another-
question. No, I
thing
don't
going on.
know. I thought it was gonna be something.
Well, I
stupid.
still feel like it's got to be somehow supernatural based on the last kill scene in the movie. Somehow, this elevator is able to whip random cords around
Yeah.
to strangle
Well,
people and
yeah.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like why not?
have that?
Why not?
Also, we have the scene where the guy's like mopping, and he turns around and you see him go because the door opens up. So I'm thinking
Oh,
like some
yeah.
kind of
Oh, yeah, what
monster or
happened
ghost
then?
is gonna.
Right.
Yeah, how did
How
he
do you,
die?
like what happened to him?
Yeah, because he
Nobody
got
knows.
like sucked out of the lobby.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he wasn't anywhere
he-
close.
He
I
ends
will-
up just dead. We don't know how.
I will
Yeah.
remind you, the whole concept of this is about an elevator that kills people.
No, I know, but this feels like it's supernatural. So when we later get our 27-minute dissertation on computer chips, organic computer chips by the guy
Hey,
who talks like this,
people
about
didn't know.
organic
People
computer
didn't know how
chips.
technology works.
Going to tell you about organic computer chips, AJ.
Chops.
And you're going to sit here and you're going to listen for 27 minutes.
How
And
did
then
this
it's-
fucking organic computer chip end up in this goddamn elevator?
Exactly.
Do you know how that happened?
Yeah,
No.
the company put in. They were testing it. They were doing.
those. I do remember
yeah.
the car.
They were
Like
doing
they're sitting in
illegal
a car
tests.
at night, and they're like, "We need to get rid of
Right.
it." Blah blah
Mhm.
blah.
Right. You don't remember
But
the
why
ominous
put it-
music when they went into the lab?
because they were experimenting on people on
You knew something
purpose.
was up with them.
What is
They're
the
doing, like,
experiment?
They were testing out these
Killer
new chips to
elevators.
see what they would do if they were able to like become artificial intelligence and like think for themselves and stuff. And it got out of control. They couldn't stop.
And they
it.
were observing this so closely
Yeah.
that 27 people just died.
Well,
they didn't stop after the first one and be like, "Well, maybe."
No,
we should
because there was
remove
a big conspiracy. Because the guy, in the elevator company, was in on it. The guy who ran the technology company was in on it. All the big conchos knew about it, so they were able to protect it. Remember, there's no
This-
internet back then, Chris.
This is just like this is
This stuff
fucking
can
just-
happen and no one would ever know.
This is like everything nowadays
Mm-hmm.
in society. This is fluoride in the water. This is
Oh yeah, where's
this
Aaron
is lead,
Brockovich?
lead
We need
water.
her.
This is
5G in our
This is
brains.
5G.
My favorite one from COVID that I love bringing this up was that people thought that packages coming from China, the air bubbles had COVID air in them.
Oh yeah.
Put in between
What?
your stuff.
Oh, my
That was
God.
my
Yeah.
favorite
Well,
conspiracy
yeah.
theory. That's my
Oh,
favorite.
man.
I just feel like humanity
favorite.
like I was on YouTube. If you ever go on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, any of them where it's like a prank, where it's like I
Yeah.
tricked my spouse into doing this, and then people will be like, "Oh, she reacted really good. She's a keeper," or some bullshit like that. I'm like, this is all fake. They're
Yeah, they
acting.
don't
It's all
realize.
Why are
scripted.
you believing this?
Yeah.
Nobody ever's like, this is really good acting.
There's no
Nobody ever says
critical
that. It's
thinking,
always
man.
like
It's always
legitimate
scripted.
comments, taking it as
Because people
serious.
can't critically think.
And I'm like,
The
this
internet
is
has
why.
ruined this. Yeah.
This is why they're killing us in elevators, because you
We're
fucking
going off on a
morons have
tangent
no
here.
critical thinking skills.
It's true. It's true.
I'm with this guy staring at the wall of shit, just contemplating life, disassociating out of their
I drove
mind.
That's
down.
Chris watching
I
TikTok.
drove down
This is me.
83 the other week, and there's conspiracy billboards on the side of the highway. Like people believe all kinds of crazy
Spend
stuff.
your money on something worthwhile.
Like a death elevator.
Yes.
Yeah. Truly though.
So
I did like how handy he was with technology. Like they showed him working on the kid's ambulance, toy ambulance, which was badass by the way. I want one of those. But that was pretty
Yeah.
cool. Like he's able to fix things. He's like
Yeah.
MacGyver. He could do it all.
that actually the first I don't have it, but the first time they show that ambulance, they made you think that it was like a real car for a second.
Yeah,
and then-
that was a great
good
transition.
That was a cool
Yeah.
shot.
That was great.
So we get information about our stoic repairman, but he's very quiet. He talks like his wife has these bottle caps she's been collecting because she
Yeah.
can win a trip to Hawaii or
Hawaii.
something like that if she collects enough. They have these moments with the family where he's like spending time with his kids and stuff, but then he gets intertwined in this repair thing for the elevator. I don't know where they go bowling, and at some point, the
Yeah.
wife's friend plants the seed that maybe he's cheating on you.
Yeah.
And then that wife's friend later sees him having lunch with the reporter, and that's it. The wife then
Yeah.
realizes he's cheating on her and leaves.
And
And this whole
taps out.
time, our
Yeah.
lead guy never says anything. They're having a huge fight
She
at dinner,
explodes at dinner, man.
saying that you're cheating
In
on me
front
and all
of
this
the
stuff. And
children.
he's like, maybe it's not like what it seems. But he's never like, no, I'm not cheating. No.
I kind of like how he's
Here
just like
is
sitting
the
there eating.
explanation.
Yeah.
He picks up the phone and then leaves to go
just
meet with the
leaves.
reporter. I think there's just no insight into any of that, but there should be.
The fact that the kids are there and she's like, "Do you want to tell the kids about what adultery is?"
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There
like,
were some
Jesus.
really there were
better
some
time
really
and place for that.
awful lines in this movie. There were.
Yeah.
This guy does kind of remind me of Eric Estrada. Is that his name?
From
Kind of
Chips.
looks. Yeah, it kind of has like the hair
Yeah.
of. That
Yeah,
guy,
there's a little bit a little Pacino happening.
Yeah. So the family thing does like come full circle though, because later he comes back to the house and the family's gone. But then he's like immediately he's like back to the elevator action. Like his whole purpose
He
is
has a
now just
career.
the
Well,
elevator.
family's gone.
He
Okay.
has a career.
He's a career man. Is that what it is?
Where they tell him to stop doing this, and he just keeps going. Like his obsession.
Sean
very,
suggests,
very, yeah.
Sean suggests the marital thing is a subplot that might have been inspired by the movie Possession. But that's like what that movie is about. With
Maybe
like
there's
the
stuff cut
other
out of the
stuff as a
movie or
side
something.
plot, I feel like.
Yeah, so like if he had fallen in love with the elevator or something,
Yeah.
that would have been
Yeah,
that
or
would have
like
been more
or like that
yeah.
guy that went mad was his best friend, and he has to figure it out because his friend is
Some sort
crazy
of.
now. Like that
Right,
would make
there's has
sense.
to be
as a
some-
something
driving
other than-
But he
momentum,
like
right?
barely knows that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have made sense.
If he
Very
felt
easy
like
way to fix
if he
it.
felt like he fixed it and then the guy died and he felt like guilt or something, but there's
Yeah.
no reason for the obsession.
Yeah.
Or if it killed his kid or like something, or his wife.
Other than that,
Something
you're
like
supposed to
that.
think that he cares about people, but he doesn't care about his wife or his kids. So what does that say?
And you
He
you have
only
that
cares about the elevator.
You have that scene with like a CEO guy who's like having an affair with some woman,
Yeah.
and the
Oh, that
woman's
was-
like, "My kid's in the hallway. Don't worry about her. Let's go bang on the couch."
It's
And
like,
then
like 4 or 5.
yeah,
Just wandering
the
around.
hallways.
Yeah.
the kid were
crazy.
like, "Oh my god, is she gonna get killed by this elevator?" But she just screams, and they run out and find like the doll was like crushed by the elevator.
Maimed, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That'd be
in
pretty
response,
alarming.
she gets smacked in the face by her mom.
Holy shit, she gets like cold
God.
cocked.
Yeah.
That is rough. Yeah.
Back in the day, they just
poor
beat shit
child.
out of kids and shit in public. Like it's.
I bet that child turned
goes.
out perfectly fine.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Elevator almost killed you, and then you get slapped by your
I-
mom.
I was really hoping for like a bunch of creative elevator kills. But I don't. Again, like, what would there be? Like, what else can you do?
How creative can you
I mean,
get?
I would have liked
Yeah.
one where it like goes really fast and then really like until the guy like just
Yeah.
like something like
Yeah.
that. But that would have been a hard effect to pull off with no
right.
budget.
Yeah, budget
Yeah.
budget
Maybe the
constraints.
classic Mission Impossible one where Emilio gets killed at the top of the elevator because he's right on top trying to fix it, and he goes all the way up and crushes
Never
them.
saw it.
Yeah, so that's the
That
other.
would've
You drop, you
Yeah.
got the top crush.
Yeah, I could see that one.
One that like
What-
just
what else you
shoots the
got?
person out or something, and they go flying out a window.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
What's gonna
Like the
do?
door like just opens up and they go shot out.
You got the Willy Wonka where it just goes up and out, flies away.
The problem if it crashes, it's out of order, so you can't do that.
True.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like once one person is killed in this elevator, it should be out of order. But they
You know,
just
John
keep going.
Carpenter. John
What if you
Carpenter
had,
had
like,
it
a
right where he
button
fills up
pop
with
off?
Well, we
water.
can't
it,
do
like, hit
that.
him in the mouth.
The people in the office need to be able to use it.
There's 3 elevators. They never
I know,
use the other
there's 3 of
2.
'em.
They only use
Yeah.
the murder one.
Is one out? They're all out? Like, I was confused by that. I didn't understand.
I don't know.
So I wanted one of the buttons to pop off and like get thrown in somebody's mouth, and then they like choke to death.
Well, and
Something
realistically,
silly like
that
that.
building would have had a cargo elevator for like furniture and shit. Like
Yeah.
you could have rode that too. Like it's
Yeah.
like a requirement.
So it's ultimately revealed, as we were saying, they go to the professor. They go to the CEO of like I forget what the company was called. When they discovered the
Yeah, I
microchip
can't
thing,
remember Horizons or something. Red
Something like that.
Horizons. I
Yeah,
don't
Sun
remember.
Horizon. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately revealed that this is this experimental organic computer chip circuit board,
Oh, so cool.
and so it's like
Just
splooging
oozing.
out
It's awesome.
computer jizz or something. I don't know what
Yeah,
this shit
it's a
is.
heartbeat right there.
It
Uh,
looks
this
like
is
aloe
why-
vera, sunburn stuff.
This is liquid cooling systems or something. I don't know.
What would you have liked to have seen? Like a cyborg in there or something?
I wanted like flesh. Like if this was
Oh,
like,
yeah, I thought it was gonna
like
be a giant
Cronenberg
heart
could do
or
like a
something.
really cool like
Yeah.
elevator
Yeah.
killer live movie. But yeah, if it was like fleshy and like
Mm-hmm.
maybe had a face or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And like
Oh
how-
yeah, like
if it was
the
a
previous
face.
elevator guy
Oh.
died or something.
He
And
looks
you
up in
open
the
up
shaft
his
and they're all
head,
becoming one with it.
he's like
They're
Robo
merging
That would be
together.
Oh, that would be cool. Like if eventually like they climb outside the elevator and it's just like all flesh and stuff.
That'd
and
be
like
so
these
cool.
grow.
That'd be awesome.
It's like a different world all of a sudden they're in.
Also sounds like a budgetary thing. Instead, let's
It's
just cover it
upside
in Vaseline
down
and
up.
call it a organic computer system. And it
Yeah, I
leads to
mean-
him.
It's okay.
It's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's fine. It does still look cool with the lighting and things.
Yeah.
He ends up stabbing it and
Oh, this is
getting his
intense.
back like cut
Yeah.
up.
That was crazy.
How would I don't know how you would say
It was kind of funny though too, because the only
He
way
did
the
his own
elevator can
stunts.
fight back is just by going up and down over and
Yeah.
over again.
But like, couldn't you just like disable the power of the building and then?
Well,
Yeah.
they were doing all kinds of stuff and it was
Take
still
the elevator
operating.
out.
So is the
it
organic
didn't
computer
seem to
capable of
matter.
generating its own energy?
Yeah, I guess so.
No.
Seems like the most difficult place to put it to like to access it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like
yeah, usually
well, he-
controls are in a different room.
Yeah.
He did that there was like 20 minutes of him entering the elevator. He first off goes back to the building, gets in the elevator and
Yeah.
rides it with no issue, which was weird. Then he gets
Yeah.
out, climbs up through it, and climbs like each floor till he finds each circuit, like where circuit boards are, and he opens the one and it's empty. So then he
Hmm. Yeah.
goes to the next one, and when he finds the circuit board, he stabs it, and that angers, of course, the elevator, causing
Yeah.
it to try and kill him.
Obviously.
Yeah.
He's saved by his new girlfriend.
which was strange.
Just in time.
It was very
I guess-
anticlimactic when that happened too.
Yeah, it didn't feel like I didn't know like what happened. Like he stabbed it
Yeah.
and the elevator went down, but does that mean he won? Like it wasn't clear.
Well, we
know.
find out he didn't.
He didn't, and the CEO guy shoots it and then gets killed by the wires.
Yeah, I think for this to work better, it had to ramp up to a real ending, like a memorable ending. Then everyone would be like, "Fucking movie of the year," right?
Yeah. But back to my thing, like even if it's a circuit board, how do random wires become controlled by like I get controlling the mechanism of the elevator going up and down and the doors and the air conditioning, but these were like just random wires end up like looping around the guy and choking him. How does that make any
yeah,
sense?
exactly.
Oh,
And
it's
that makes no
it's,
sense.
it's alive. It's a living creature now.
No, it's
That's the
a live
heartbeat.
circuit board.
See, but if we had seen like the
Yeah,
slime
but-
organic computer
but
climb
again,
out
this is
onto
like-
the chain onto the
This is like
The-
early
the
80s.
guide
People don't know
wire.
how technology works yet. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, there's so much like you could play with in that, where just people lack a knowledge of computer chips to begin with and technology.
that is
and how an
fair, and
elevator
it would have been a
works.
lot easier to make movies back then.
Do you think elevator technology has changed a lot since '83?
No, I feel like probably the materials have gotten cheaper, which is probably bad. It's just like houses, you know?
Yeah, I mean the basic technology
Everything's
is pretty much
cheap.
the same.
Would
I
you
think.
prefer like, you know, like when you go to the bank and they shoot you those things through tubes? Would you prefer like a one-person tube system where you just get shot up through it?
No, that'd be cool.
Yeah, those things
And
get
you're like,
jammed
"Right."
all the time, and the contents get
Yeah.
flung out.
Stuff
That's
gets
true.
stuck halfway.
You don't
or-
want to get jammed like up in there.
Who's the
like a
tube master?
five-person
Has to
tile
go up there
pile.
and clog it.
Just a guy who just
Just
pushes
That would make a
poke you
funny
with a
movie, though.
stick.
He just gets a plunger
Chris,
on the
it's
other
work
end.
sucks in the future.
There
Work
you go.
sucks
It's like a
2300.
cartoon.
It's Ian, and he's just cleaning out pneumatic tubes of people goo that got disintegrated, destroyed by
He's
the
in the basement.
tube
That's all he
system.
does all day.
right.
Great idea.
So that's it. Like the CEO
Yeah.
guy who created
Yeah.
the chip ends up getting killed by the machine, and our lead walks off with his new girlfriend, abandoning
I
his family
guess.
forever. and
Down the
his children.
stairs
I guess.
throughout
Down
the
the stairs.
credits.
Yeah.
And then you roll the sweet credits with some Dick Maas music. Let's check a little bit of that out.
I did like how they were walking down the stairs as the credits roll. That was a cool concept.
Mhm.
That's cool.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's
That's
good.
the lift.
It's like Michael Clayton. Have you ever seen that one? With George
With
Clooney gets in a
George Clooney?
taxi cab and he drives off, and at the end credits rolls, they're just riding in the taxi cab.
Oh, yeah. I thought there was
I like
like, I
stuff
don't
like that.
remember.
That feels very
elevator scene in
70s to me
Michael Clayton.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
That
right,
or like
anything-
the freeze frame.
Yeah,
I
the
always
freeze
hated
frame.
those endings. Or just and it starts rolling the credits. You're like, what was the most recent?
Like,
Yeah, like the French Connection. I watched that a couple weeks ago.
oh,
and it was
man.
like,
French
It's-
Connection's
I-
great.
other than the crazy racism in
The
it,
second one's not so great.
but that ending, it just reminded me of those movies that do that.
Yeah,
where it's like,
that
but
car chase scene, man.
yeah, car
it's
chase is
insane.
awesome.
But what's weird about this movie is they like walk down the stairs like, all right, it's over. This motherfucking elevator just choked this fucker guy out.
Yeah,
like, this
and
is
it's
still
still
going.
alive. Yeah,
Like, so-
it's not
Whatever.
dead.
I guess we're just ending the movie. Like,
Just
I don't
ending
know.
it. We're done.
Yeah.
Their work here is done.
We're all out of money, so the movie's over. Roll the fucking credits.
Roll those credits.
Yeah, really. I mean,
Well,
what
at
is
least
it?
it opened for
There's
a
no
sequel,
resolution
right?
to this.
There's no resolution.
bleak.
There's no
Except-
resolution.
Except for he definitely
Except for
left
the
his
one
family.
guy's dead.
The one guy's dead and he's starting over with a new girlfriend.
Start
Okay.
over. His life over. Oh man.
All right. Anything else with the lift, guys?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
AJ, would you recommend the lift?
Yeah. Absolutely. I thought it was great. It was a fun time. It's a real movie, essentially, like a real 80s horror movie. Better than I thought it was gonna be. Really competent, fun. I'm really excited because this is like one of his first movies, so I know what's gonna come is probably gonna be even better. So I'm really pumped.
Aaron.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It is slow at times, but overall, I enjoyed it.
Rebecca.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend it as well. I think it's a good start for us. And I think if you're joining us for Dickmas, you got to give it a try.
That's right. Yeah. It's fine. It's definitely not bad. Like, I mean, it's silly. We talked about the silly stuff, but it's not a bad movie. I don't think any of these movies we watch this month are going to be bad.
Yeah, he's a pretty talented guy.
He's pretty talented. What do you think Spiv would say?
There was
didn't have
too much
enough of this.
elevators and not enough elevators.
There wasn't enough misogyny and
There was a decent amount. Like when that guy just harasses these people.
Not enough for Spiv though.
yeah.
That was Spiv actually right there.
That right there, Spiv.
Ugh.
He's like, I'm rich.
Hey, look at that
better
guy.
than you.
That guy was creepy.
He was creepy.
All right, let's move on now and play a game. So here we go.
Game time, baby.
Your theories are the worst kind. Try to your methods are sloppy and your conclusions are highly fuzzy. Shall we play?
Elevators.
Yeah.
Let's get into some elevators. All right. My computer is so stinking slow. There we go. How many elevators are there currently in the United States?
Oh my god. I
Oh,
got one
God.
in my building. I got a couple in my building.
Yeah.
and it's
Like
only 2
a
floors.
million. I don't know.
865,000.
Multiple
No,
buildings.
Like
so.
5 million.
There are 700,000.
I was not that far off.
I
Yeah.
wonder if there's more elevators, more escalators.
I'm
More
gonna
I
say-
think probably
elevators.
more elevators.
Yeah. There's a lot of malls
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah,
Not
it's
as
that
many.
malls.
There's a hell of a lot more elevators, man. Yeah.
How many people die per year in elevator-related deaths?
3.
700,000.
Yeah, we got the number. 700,000.
One per every
Yeah, we are.
elevator.
It is 26 per year.
Jesus.
That's
Yep. A car is 26 per hour.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck? That's not bad at all.
So
No, that's
just
not bad.
ride up and down those
Well,
elevators.
how are they
What
dying?
happened
There's,
there?
like,
Is that a
Yeah,
sleeper
couch
sofa?
a couch fell through on
Wait,
someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
the couch fell on them? Or,
That's
yeah.
probably what happens. People do stupid stuff like that, like they smash themselves in there with heavy furniture and they die
Yeah.
because the furniture kills them.
What a way to go.
What's the maximum feet a single cable operated elevator can go? How many
Single
feet
cable.
up?
Ooh,
Oh, I don't know.
300.
600.
100?
1,700 feet.
Get the ass out of here.
I mean, you still
Really?
have brakes
I mean, it's
on
a-
them and everything.
Yeah, they have those
right?
brake
So-
Yeah.
systems.
And
And they
when
probably
you
get
say-
inspected.
When you say cable, it's like a spindle. Like it's thick, right? Like it's
I mean,
Yeah,
it's big,
I mean,
but
it's
like,
not like
Twine.
it's not like this
twine.
piece of twine. Like
guitar string.
yeah.
Wonder if
What
they'll
percentage
replace
of elevators don't have a button 13?
those. Oh,
This
pretty much
is
all
what I'm
ones in,
saying.
like, Japan and stuff,
This is
right?
the shit I'm
3%.
saying. We
13th
this-
floor.
There's a
just
different
because you get rid of the button doesn't mean you don't have a 13th floor. It's just 14 is now the 13th floor, guys.
That's how you start conspiracy theories, Chris.
I would say 42%.
Yeah, something like 50%.
85%.
Yeah, oh
This
my
is so
god,
stupid.
we're
Wow.
doomed people.
In what year was the first elevator invented?
1876.
Now this is like some Jesus.
I feel
time
like they
stuff.
probably have like,
they had poor
steam powered
people pulling-
elevators and shit.
Now they used to just have like people who had to pull
On
pharaohs and shit up the fucking pyramids and shit. Just like
job.
500,
the pulley guy.
580 or some shit. Yeah.
So stupid.
Well, Chris isn't far off. 236
Told you.
BC. It was on rope
That doesn't
powered
count.
by people or animals.
Technically an
The
elevator.
Colosseum had 20 different elevators, but they were all people powered.
That's pretty amazing.
I would just
'cause
be
when-
the. Why not just have a guy stand up top and he like jumps and hangs the rope down, and then another guy climbs up and he just do that rather than like.
Do you want to hang from a rope jumping down? That would rip your hands apart.
It'd make it a hell of a
That's
lot
pretty
more
amazing.
interesting.
In what year was elevator music invented?
Oh, 1971, man.
1955.
It's Muzak.
Yeah. Elevator music was 1920.
Holy
Supposed to
Look at that
help
beautiful elevator.
ease the fears
Some
of being
Hellraiser
in...
shit there.
Really?
Hellraiser elevator. It's pretty cool, man.
That is cool.
Very Art
pretty awesome
Deco.
Stuff.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
When was the first electric elevator installed?
1930.
1936.
Yeah, 1931.
1880.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Would you get in it?
Fuck yes.
Last one. How fast is the fastest elevator in the world?
This is the Burj
no.
Khalifa one.
Miles per hour. How many miles
300
per hour?
miles per hour.
I
But
feel
why
like
don't we do
Jesus.
magnets? Why aren't elevators with magnets? Why can't we-
300?
Well, the bullet train. How
Lord.
It
fast
just
is the bullet?
shoots out the top of the...
How fast does the bullet train go? You know? You can
I'll
withstand
say
that.
47 miles an hour.
I'm gonna say 80 miles an hour.
Aaron almost had it exactly. It's 46 miles per hour, which is 95 floors in
Wow.
43 seconds.
Chris,
Damn,
you were going
300 miles.
Are we ever
per
gonna
hour.
get that
I'm telling
elevator?
you, why don't we have
The
elevators that
G-forces
are
alone.
magnets?
would like squish you to the bottom of the elevator. Chris.
Because it would make too much sense.
Look, if you guys can't handle the elevators and Rupert Industries,
Goo
that's, on
man.
you.
Look.
That's not on me.
If they're gonna be
But
magnet,
that
Chris, who's
46
gonna pull
miles
the
an
rope?
hour or
Who's
the
gonna pull
90...
the
That's
rope?
fucking fast.
It's a job, Chris.
That's faster than Usain Bolt sprints.
Oh yeah,
Taking away
47
jobs.
is really fast. That's like what he does, like 27 miles an hour, or something insane.
Yeah.
27 miles an hour.
But,
Somebody runs.
Yeah,
that?
he's super fucking fast.
run like 2 miles an hour. I'm a fat fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't run a mile.
No,
Oh,
he does like 400 meter though.
okay. Then that makes me feel better. Thank you, Rebecca. Let's
You
move
betcha.
on and do some listener feedback. So here we go.
I suggest we read some listener feedback, sir.
Make it so, number one.
Emails. You tiny little emails. You precious little emails. Where are you?
All right. Last week's episode is not on YouTube, so we're going to the one before that, which is, of course, the 1995 movie Showgirls, which we got a few comments about. Jesse Magger says, I remember renting Showgirls from the video store I used to work at in the 90s. By the end of it, I was sick of seeing boobs, which shouldn't have been possible for a teenage boy. Fun episode. Happy belated birthday to Rebecca.
Thank you.
KGB1138 says, good review. You guys are really entertaining, but I laughed out loudly at the pool scene. I have to put the film in It's So Bad It's Good category. It's definitely
ridiculous.
it's definitely satirical to the ninth degree on purpose. It's the only explanation for it to exist. Well, thanks for that comment. I think that's a new person.
That's awesome.
Mark Adams 8041 says the Kyle MacLachlan Elizabeth sex scene was worse than anything that David Lynch could imagine.
Oh God,
I think there are maybe 2 sex scenes in a history of cinema that might be worse. What 2 sex scenes
So
do you
violent.
think they're talking about?
the one in the pool. Oh, the
Yeah, I
one that
know,
are worse.
but he said that are worse. I
He
mean,
says there's 2 that are worse than that.
yeah, I want to know what those are. The horror collector or the collector studio 9. These are all like new people. This is crazy. Says recommendations. 2 horror films with Saved by the Bell characters are Fever Lake from 1997, starring Corey Haim and Mario Lopez. That sounds pretty cool. And
Yeah.
the second one is Bleeding Hearts from 2015. 3 things you have to know about this movie is that it has full frontal nudity. There is a movie within the movie, and the final cast has Robert Loggia, Tony Todd, Charles During, and Dustin Diamond, which
Oh,
is of course
Screech.
Screech.
Oh boy,
Wow. All right.
isn't he dead?
Yeah.
He is dead.
Okay.
R.I.P. One Love, Dustin Diamond. Mike D says, never understood the hate for this movie. It wasn't the greatest ever, but I've seen a lot worse. Elizabeth left Saved by the Bell for this, and her career was pretty much done after this, which I don't think was very fair. Every actor has a few bad movies, but still get work. Yeah,
fair.
but also her acting was awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was a massive budget movie, and
What did she do after this movie though? I mean, She was like
don't
a
know.
beautiful model, right? I mean,
I have no idea.
I don't think she was even that.
Yeah.
I don't think she did anything.
it's wild.
Just killed her career.
Yeah,
I mean, I think she does like low budget B movies now, probably, but
I could see do like Hallmark or those kind of.
Mm-hmm.
She did the new Saved by the Bell, I guess. She was in an
yeah,
episode of The
yeah.
New Girl, an episode of Melissa
Okay.
and Joey. She was in S. Darko, the sequel to Donnie Darko.
Oh god.
The Butler's in Love, Black Widow, a bunch of TV series for like
So
one
just
episode.
a bunch of bad choices after bad choices. is what I'm saying.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
No, I know.
She's in a movie called Detonator. We should check that out.
That sounds cool.
Oh, it looks
All
cool
right.
as shit too.
Well, thanks for leaving that
Oh,
feedback. If you want to get
we-
what?
We have one important other piece of feedback. Yeah.
This podcast
For our
is so
audio
bad.
listeners, we're looking at Spiff's comment.
Hey
about-
all,
Yeah.
we have company for dinner tonight. I'll probably be on late.
Well, it's now 10 o'clock. No
So
spiff.
I don't think
Do you know where your spiff is?
Yeah, it must be quite the dinner party.
Having company for dinner.
He's
think
probably
they're in
still
an
cleaning up
elevator
the
right now?
bodies. Oh yeah, we should check out Detonator. This looks cool. Chris,
All right.
I'm adding this. We got to add a wheel
That's
this to the
cool.
wheel for next
Add it
month.
to the
I'm glad we
wheel.
got some new listeners, and I wondered if that was because that's such a bigger movie.
It
You know,
is.
Like it probably drew
I'm sure
more
they just
people.
listened to that episode. It's fine.
Yeah,
We should probably do real movies going forward.
I got a couple that I really want to watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should probably do real movies going forward.
They're the real movies. Got a couple real movies I think would be perfect. You want to hear my secret one?
Entering the 8th year of Bad Movie Night podcast, which is exciting news. Maybe we'll switch some things up for next year. We say that, but we never do because
We broke
are lazy
11K,
pieces of
man.
shit. 11K. Only took 8 years.
Actually, it was there
Worst
before.
growing
Then it went
YouTube channel
down.
ever.
We're
Then it went
niched.
back up.
We're niched, all right?
Oh shit! Do you know how many channels we've seen come and like grow like massively in that time? But it's okay. You
All right,
can't.
I'm
this
gonna
is-
I'm
like
gonna
this
listen
is
to
a-
fine
Berkeley
wine.
Hole.
It's not a race, AJ. It's
We
a
age with
slow.
time.
We are not
decline
going
to
at
death.
300 miles per hour.
Yeah, we are not. But you know what we are doing? Next week we're watching the 1988 movie Amsterdam,
Yes.
which is directed by
awesome.
one Dickmas. Mary Dickmas continues. Let's go ahead and check out the trailer for Amsterdam. So here we go.
Whoa.
Wat waren ze aan het doen vannacht? Ze waren bezig watermonsters te nemen. Het lijkt erop dat het watermonster
I'm
hen
gonna skip
genomen
ahead.
heeft. Begrijp uw bezorgdheid.
Norwegian.
Norwegian.
Jesus Christ, dude. That was cool. Oh man,
Uh-oh.
I feel like I've seen this before.
Gek, hè?
Alright, this is fucking awesome, guys.
This is gonna be
I
cool.
have
It's
a
a
feeling
fucking boat race thing.
this is gonna
Oh,
be
it's the same
great.
guy. Is that the
This is
same
gonna
guy?
be a great
No.
movie.
That's not the Shaft Man?
No,
Are you telling me that's not the
that's
Shaft
not
Man?
the lift operator. No,
No,
this
it's
is not
the
William
mechanic.
Schaffner.
This is the Mechanica. This is our main character, no?
Is it?
It looks
I
like
don't
him to
think
me.
so. No, is it?
I think it is.
I think you're
I
wrong.
don't care.
I'm gonna look.
Amsterdam. That's what we're checking out next week. 1988's Amsterdam. It is available on the Tubi. I have to sneeze. Here it comes.
Oh boy, what's that?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
It's Hugh Staple. He is known.
Sorry, I keep
What the,
sneezing.
what the Hey, Goofy, would you calm it down over there?
Say Hugo Stiglitz? It's not Hugo Stiglitz.
No, not Hugo Stiglitz.
Hugo Stiglitz.
It is the
in,
guy. He's Felix Adelar. Is that the main character?
I don't
On the
know.
lift? Felix? Yeah. It's the same guy, Chris.
Hell yeah.
There
it
you
is.
go.
See?
Yeah, it's Hugh Staple.
You think he'll leave his
Staple?
wife and kids in this movie?
Staple?
One can only hope, AJ. Amsterdam from 1988. A hard-boiled police detective sets out to capture a gruesome serial killer terrorizing the canals of Amsterdam. I'm excited. We don't get a lot of canal action on this show. There's very few places that actually have canals. Amsterdam is one of them, and I'm excited to dive into them. This is all making sense because I feel like that Lion movie also took place in Amsterdam.
It did.
Which is really weird for
Sean
a
already
German
said
movie
that.
to take place all around.
It's kind of weird for a German movie to take place in Holland.
But
Probably because it's not a German movie. You freaking
I'm not
moron.
here to judge. Dick Maas can do what he wants, and it has been a very merry Dick Maas. I feel like there's not much left to say. We'll just get a little creepy AI imagery just to round this bad boy out at the end.
Oh my god, that's the worst.
That
everyone wants to
is
see.
terrifying.
Yeah, it's very terrifying, but also great. And that's it, guys, for this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed the Dickmas. It was supposed to start in December, but these guys are like, let's start it now. And so
Well, it's
now
not a
we
movie.
have, I don't know what we're doing the last week of December. It was supposed to end.
Well,
But-
don't
No.
we get started with the BMNs?
Well, we were talking about not doing them because no one
Oh.
ever shows up for the show anymore. So what's
Well,
the fucking point?
we'll do something. Maybe
We'll
we'll,
do
do a
something.
hang. We'll do something.
All right, we'll
We'll
do something.
find something to do.
Or we'll just
We'll
take
ring
it-
in the new year.
Oh, maybe we
Maybe-
can watch your
why
movie,
don't we just
Chris,
take a day off?
XXXmas.
No.
Yeah, actually, we should.
You
Yeah.
were watching the trailers on the pre-show.
Come on, man. You are a star of the film.
Yeah. Aren't you going to go on like a book tour or something?
No, we're not going to be doing any of that nonsense.
You already did the nonsense. You might as well embrace it.
That's right.
That's true. That's true. That's it, guys. Join us next week when we watch Amsterdam. Thank you for watching, listening to the show. If you enjoyed it, please leave an iTunes review. That helps out the show. Consider joining the Patreon, patreon.com/badmovienight-show. It's $2 a month to get access to Slack, the pre-show. You get Movie on the Wheel, which will start back up at the beginning of the year. Some other
The
shit. I
Slack
don't
is
know.
so helpful because you can learn
Yeah.
things like this.
You can play video games with me
There's
and
lots of
one
stuff.
other patron.
And we're always looking for new ideas, fresh things to freshen up the show, especially if we're getting rid of the history hole. What else can we do? Maybe we
Except
just
for
make the
usually it's
show-
just insults. It's
Why don't we
mostly
just do
insults.
the AI hole or something? Let a computer do all the work for us.
That's actually a really good
ChatGPT
idea.
hole.
Yeah, there you
Chat
go.
hole.
Why not?
Well, I have the ability to make animated videos now from AI.
That's
so
pretty cool.
There we go.
What did
We
you,
just make
what
a
did
bunch
you use
of
to make
those.
that? That's terrifying.
I think it's Runaway AI or something like that.
She's a
What's it
little
called?
runaway.
Runaway. Thanks, Rebecca. That was great.
They should make
Uh,
AI generated music videos now, Chris.
That's what we should do.
We should do that.
Are you fucking kidding me? You literally are ready to roll the outro.
Cannot hear
We're out, dude. That doesn't matter. We're
Spiv
done.
joins literally when I'm hitting the button to end the show.
We are ending the
You're
show.
ending this show, all right.
Yeah, right now.
I made it
right
just
now.
in time.
All right, hold on, Aaron. Get rid of that image, and let's right before we end the show. Aaron, get rid. What
Oh my
did you
God.
like? Did you like the lift?
I liked the lift. It reminded me a lot of the Shaft, which I think I liked the Shaft better from my memory of it, but we'll see. We're going to watch that later, right?
We will be watching The
Later.
Shaft later. Next week, we're watching Amsterdam.
Damn, oh, that came up next on my Tubi after the lift ended.
There you go.
I didn't know that. Was that another Dick Mouse?
It's
Yes,
all
it is.
Dickmas. Yeah,
It's
you missed
all
the whole.
Dickmas. All
You
right.
missed the whole custom intro. You missed the animated AI
Oh.
things. You missed so much.
I'll catch it next week, I guess.
Catch it next week. It was a great show. We're thinking about getting rid of the history hole. A
Yep.
whole bunch of stuff's happening.
Yeah.
You weren't here last
Big
week.
changes.
We're
I wish
getting
we
rid
We're
of
actually
the,
using AI to generate the whole show from now on.
We're not even
works.
here right now. This
Yep.
isn't even us.
I have 8 fingers.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. That's it, guys. We'll catch you here next week. Goodbye.
Bad Movie Night Podcast. Podcast. We hope you enjoy listening to Bad Movie Night.